Alright, so this is Avatar: The Last Airbender Into the Inferno. It's the third game on the Wii from Avatar. And let's get into it. So this opening menu is pretty intense. You got Aang with his stuff here. I guess I'll go ahead and just go straight to my finished file. Alright, so obviously this game takes place during Book 3 of the series. It covers the story of Book 3 from the show. So this game, it's kind of like the second game about Earth Kingdom, whereas it's an action platformer puzzle game, action puzzle platformer. I don't know, but I guess the first noticeable difference is that there is a world map. This is how you choose what level you want to go to. This is the full map, by the way. One thing I will say against this game is that it's pretty short. There are literally 5 levels, not counting boss fights. So, because a lot of the boss fights have their own separate selection on the map. So, like, here's the Day of Black Sun. It's like the 3rd level. And then this is where you fight the boss, which would be Azula and her Earthbenders. Anyway, I just want to show off the first level. You'll notice that there was a 3 out of 3 scrolls on the level select under the name. There are hidden scrolls in all the levels. Finding all 3 of them unlocks bonus art, I think. Yeah, so the cutscenes, the character models and shading looks a bit different from the previous game, but they're all fully voiced and animated well. There's none of the awkward posing, no mouth moving, talking like there was in the last game. So that, I really like how that's not a thing in this game. This is an unskippable video right here showing how bending works. It plays every time you play the first level. So when you're trying to replay it looking for the scrolls, it's a little annoying. So yeah. So another little thing that's irritating is that the controls are all completely different from the previous game. Jump is now the Z button. You still have a double jump, but it's now the Z button. Attack is the A button. Bending is now done. You point at the screen and you hold the B button on something. So if I'm not pointing, let's see. Here's a bucket of water. So if I point it at the bucket of water and hold B, I can pick up some water. If I point at nothing, basically if I just point at the air and hold B, nothing happens, but you have to make a circle motion for you to conjure up air bending. And if it hits something, it'll just explode like that. There is money to pick up. You probably already saw that there was money. To open this door, I have to actually use waterbending on it for some reason. I don't know why, but you do. Water just plows that door down. So yeah, there is money to collect in the game. You can see your running total down here. You can point at Momo to get hints. So let's say you don't know how to use waterbending yet, even though you had to use it to break down the door. You can point at him and press the B button. He has that little funny voice clip, usually, for what it is, and it just gives you a quick little explanation on how to use your bending. So he's really helpful. He's dressed up and talks for some reason. But there are some side areas. And let's see, use water to put out this. I can attack. Stuff that's shiny is stuff you can interact with.
Let's head for the deck.
So look at that, this thing is shiny. You can hit it, or you can use bending on it to make stuff happen. The hidden scrolls do not return, so you're not going to see any of the hidden scrolls that I've already collected. That's a locked door. Come in here. And if you hit this lever, it'll open the door over here. And then I think, oh, here's a coin. There's some stuff here you can interact with. You can use bending to sort of like go around the room, try to look for stuff. Oh, I have an upgrade that lets me point at money to pick it up. Ordinarily, you have to manually pick it up right away. But there is an upgrade that you can just buy with your coins to get things like that. So here's where we can get into some fighting. I also have an upgrade that increases my damage, so these guys are going to go down in like 2 hits. But you can also use bending to hit your opponents. And also, waterbending, when you shake... I often forget that the nunchuck has a motion sensor in it, because it does. Because when you hold the water up and shake the nunchuck portion, it'll freeze. And you can use that to, say, freeze enemies. And if your opponents are frozen, they will die with 1 hit, which is another strategy you can use. So you can use that as a strategy. You know, you can switch between bending or just attacking. So there's a lot of different things you can do. There's plenty of little secrets, like filling up that bucket of water gave me a big gold coin. If you use airbending on this horn, I think it'll give coin. Yeah, just mostly for shooting off the horn. But it's cool either way.
I'm glad you're feeling better. You were out for a while.
So yeah, here's where Momo would tell you about freezing water.
That should hold it for now.
You freeze the water on these pipes and it stops it from coming out. If you saw in the demo video, you use airbending in here, and there's a scroll right here. I think that was the scroll I missed last.
We're taking on water. We've got to get out of here. I thought those were supposed to be the safest way to travel.
And then, also with waterbending, you hold a B, and you lift up with the Wii remote, and you create platforms.
We're safe. Hey, Sokka! Hey, this way! Hold on, Sokka, we'll get to you! Somehow.
Alright, so yeah, you can use... You have to make a circle motion, like I said, with to do airbending. So here we're going to freeze this. This is just sort of like a walkthrough now. What else can I talk about the game before I finish this level? You of course do eventually learn... Aang can do like all the bending. Later when you do firebending, he can do firebending. He can do earthbending and waterbending, of course. Oh yeah, switching characters. So this game is co-op, but when you're playing single player, you press on the D-pad on the Wii remote to switch characters at any time. But Katara can't earthbend, so I mostly will just play as Aang, because I mean he can do everything. Put out the fire on the rocks so you can earthbend them. We're gonna get some firebenders in here pretty soon. Fastest way is to just freeze them. Again, I do have power-ups unlocked, which makes my bending and attacks all better. So ordinarily you wouldn't be able to just freeze everybody like that. So yeah, I unfortunately have not had the opportunity to play this co-op yet. I imagine I will try to do that at some point in the future, but I imagine it would be pretty fun. This game I have enjoyed a lot more than the previous one. Mostly because there's actual bending to do. Like, the previous game had bending, but not, like, utilized for, like, puzzle solving in the way that it's done in this game. This game has a lot more better puzzles, I would think. The villains all have a bunch of little quips that they say. So if you're watching the enemies, sometimes they'll stop and like taunt you when there's like a big group or something. Let's see if any of them do it. No? Alright, we need to see it anyway. So like the menu button is on plus now. So I mean, a lot of the button changes I guess are for the better, but it's just weird that it's different between all three Wii games. The buttons are just different. As you get further into the game, combat does get harder in this game because enemies will regularly block your attacks, and as far as I can tell, I didn't look in the manual, but I pressed all the buttons and I couldn't find a block button. So the only way you can avoid attacks is to just jump out of the way after you finish a combo and like they're blocking your attack. Usually if the enemy is blocking your attack, they'll usually be able to just attack you while you're attacking their block. So yeah, so the best thing, once an enemy starts blocking, you sort of just have to like jump out of the way because they're going to attack you back. So picking up money in the game, so for this level I needed 600 to unlock an extra bonus art, and then 1200 to unlock a special upgrade for the shop. Now you unlock it in the shop first, and then you have to pay for it. And so you can see I got all 3 scrolls and my total money count for the whole game. And then you get to save. So now that you've seen a level, I'm going to go to the other modes. Yes, this game has other modes within it. So it's pretty cool.
Aang, are you okay? No crispy edges?
He's fine, Sokka. Relax.
Then it's time.
So yeah. So we go to Ember Island. And this is open from, I think, the beginning of the game. And you can come here to buy upgrades, buy character art, view art, and, you know, gallery items. Here's the gallery.
Theater? I'm in.
You can come here to watch cutscenes and stuff. Here's this one, we already saw it. There's other ones. You can view the credits.
Let's see what's inside.
Those unlock as you see them in the game. These are artworks that you pay for to buy. It seems to be working really well right now. The other day I couldn't like select things very well for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe it's too far away? Because I'm standing a lot closer right now for the recording. But yeah, these things you buy. There's also character portraits with some information about the characters that you can purchase.
You know what would be relaxing? Visiting the gallery.
You can pick up money here too.
That's enough resting for now. Let's go.
So here's the shop. You got this guy with the changing hats. He's got your shopkeeper. I've bought almost everything in this game, so I mean, I click on bonus art, there's nothing here. Upgrades, I've purchased all but one, which is 99,000 coins, so it's total invincibility, so yeah. Once you have that, there's basically no more game left.
Safe travels.
I'm on my way to there. I have 32,000. Anyway,
Hey, yeah! Flying
here's a secrets mode. You can turn on and off your purchased upgrades. And you can type in codes to just give you everything anyway if you want, if you don't want to play the game and just have everything. But here is another game mode. You have the glider, Aang on the glider, free flight, boost racing, and target shooting. So if you've played Wii Sports Resort, and there's like that airplane thing where you can fly all around Woohoo Island, and then there's like shooting stuff. Basically, this is that, but with Aang on a glider.
Have fun flying. Appa and I will be right behind you.
So yeah, there's coins everywhere. There were 3 scrolls hidden around the world for me to find. You got a boost button. You can also shoot, although in free fly mode there's no point in shooting. There's nothing to shoot. In another game mode, there's like a balloon popping for points. You have limited time to get a certain number of points with the balloon popping. And there's boost racing where there's like rings you go through to try to beat Sokka's time. Sokka set the default record to beat, and you have to beat them. And I beat them all. It was pretty fun. So yeah, I think this is pretty cool. Let me go ahead and run through this tunnel over here, just as sort of a show off. This is probably the fastest way for me to get coins rather than just replaying levels over and over again. I could do this for hours. Oh yeah, so if you get close to the ground, Aang will like run his feet across the ground. And then if you crash, you just respawn because it's free fly mode. There's updrafts from these volcanoes, which force you up. Woo! You can fly all the way upside down. There is some physics in this, as you can stall out, you know, if you just fly straight up. So it's not just like free flying like through space or anything. I guess I should change. Well, I should save, get my coins out of it. These are pretty obvious. I guess I don't have to explain them, but I still want to show them off just to show that they are there. Maybe I'll... Yeah.
Let's see what you can do, Aang.
So these are boost rings.
As fast as you can.
Let's go! Yeah!
You have your boost meter, which depletes if you pick up boost power-ups while you're boosting. Your boost meter will still refill, so you can, in theory, boost endlessly if you're skilled enough. Oof, but I am not. Ah, nope. Oops, I missed that ring, I think.
Oh no! Let's go!
So yeah, there's only 3 courses for this, which of course get more difficult.
Two to go!
This one you do laps.
Let's go!
Guess I should start out the more difficult one. Anyway, let's show off target shooting real quick, just so you can see everything that's available for you. So yeah, the blue ones are the most points, orange are the second most points, then the other ones don't matter.
Just destroy the balloons as quickly as possible.
This is where shooting comes in handy, or in use at all. So these ones are multiple colors. If you hit it in the middle, you'll get the blue points, whereas if you hit it at the other colors, you only get those points. And then after so many hits, they explode.
Great shot, Ang.
And there's stuff to unlock based on, you know, how many points you got. Whoops.
You're going the wrong way, Ang.
So yeah, if I want to shoot them from a bad angle like this, I'll get minimal points. Okay, so yeah. Those are the different game modes. Those are pretty fun. Of course, you get Toph, Sokka, and Zuko are also playable based on the level that you're playing. It follows the story of the show pretty well, although it is pretty short. It like I said, there's only 5 levels.
Ready to head back to the rest of the world?
But other than that, I think it's a pretty good game. I definitely would recommend it if you're a fan of the show and have a Wii to play it on. That's pretty much the whole game. Options are limited to subtitles. You can invert flight controls, sound levels, hints. These are all the hints from Momo. I think. Yeah. Yeah. So if you have any questions about the game, go ahead and ask below in the comments. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.